Hi everyone, I'm Jennie, and today I'm filming the pilot episode. Hi! This is actually my third time filming the pilot episode, but you guys wouldn't have known that if I didn't say anything. Hi everyone, I'm Jennie, host of Lucky Listener podcast, and today I'm filming the pilot episode because I think you and I need to have some us time before I get joined by other music artists, and there won't be time for us to build and nurture this relationship. No, but seriously, I think there are a lot of things that I can touch on outside of the things I talk about with all the behind the scenes of LLP and all the things and conversations that I have or will be having with other music artists. So in this episode, I wanted to talk a little bit more about myself and also how LLP came to be and what my aspirations are for the podcast. So about me, I am 22. I'm based in Houston and I recently graduated. Yes, thank you. I graduated with a degree in sports medicine and exercise physiology, and let's get into that. So music marketing and music business has not always been the thing that I thought, oh, this is my passion for life. That's what I have to pursue. It actually was physical therapy. So growing up, I got injured playing sports and I suffered two pretty strenuous and debilitating injuries on both of my legs. And going through PT really, really not only helped rebuild my confidence, but showed me that there are a community of people out there whose entire job and livelihood is based on serving other people. And I thought that was really beautiful as someone who was a recipient of all of that. So that started the dream of being a physical therapist, and that is what I would study in my undergrad for 4 years. I gained a lot of inpatient and outpatient shadowing experience. I even got auto enrollment into a PT school here in Texas that I had applied to my junior year, and I was 1 foot in the door. I was very much prepared to completely, fully pursue PT, and it was my dream, but it really wasn't. In the background of all of this, I had this growing discontentment with the idea of a physical therapist's schedule and salary, and I feel like I no longer looked at it with rose-colored glasses. So I made the decision that this really wasn't a path that I wanted to pursue this past year, which has been very scary and daunting and challenging, and any other synonym for what the heck am I supposed to do with my life after I graduate. Yeah, it was a very stressful time for me. But through it all, and with the help of an entrepreneurship class I took at my university, I figured out that music marketing and music business was something that I had a knack for. I love media, I love music, I love marketing, and it just felt like the right fit for me. And that's how LLP was born. It was born out of this idea that I knew I wanted to do something within this field, and I didn't know exactly where I fit when it came to working under a label or working under live music, such as festivals or concerts. I didn't really see where I would fit in either one of those. Then came the idea of podcasting, and really it was less about the formalities or structure of a podcast, but it was more so I wanted to talk to artists, and I wanted to, for myself and for other people out there that I know who are interested in creating their own music, how other people got started and how they found their sound. That has always fascinated me as someone who has been writing songs for I don't even know how long and has played guitar for maybe like 6, 8 years now. I think while I'm growing into myself and evolving, I also notice how that has changed with the music that I listen to, engage with, create myself. So that being said, I really selfishly created this podcast so I could just ask away with incredible emerging artists everywhere because this podcast is online. And that is the beauty of all of this is being able to talk to other people who have taken full creative control over everything they produce and their output. And I find that extremely admirable. LLP is born, but how did LLP get its name? So Lucky Listener was kind of a marriage between these two ideas that I kind of had like one after the other. I first thought about radios and how, sometimes they have a segment where people can call in for like a trip to Cancun or some concert ticket giveaway. And one person gets to be the lucky listener or lucky caller that ends up winning that prize. And having that thought sort of bled into another thought of, wow, I'm so happy to be born in the same timeline as Ariana Grande or these other incredible vocalists and incredible music producers that are out there that are quite literally creating and steering like pop and pop culture. And I think that's something that was so fascinating to me that when I had those two thoughts, I was like, ooh, lucky listener. And also, I've been into stars. So when I thought about lucky listener, I thought about a star. And that's when I drew the logo. But to be honest, it didn't start out that way. It actually was this other like Canva graphic. But I'm very happy that I chose to just hand draw the star with earphones in. So that's how the podcast got its name, its logo, and everything else or everything that will be coming out has been my way of combining, the podcast with tangible like marketing PR stuff for the artists. And I'm really excited to be doing that. It is a lot of extra work, but I do think that plays a huge role in just music marketing in general. And at one point I did consider like, should I go into A&R? Because as long as my artists are successful, then I'm successful too, and vice versa. And I really want us all to be successful in this. I want people to discover the podcast and find useful information and intriguing stories with artists that they have never listened to or have and now are finding out more about them, that there is a space for them to share and that people want to listen. And the people that get to listen are extremely lucky. My goals for LLP are quite like everyone else's goals for any business they create. I want numbers. I'm kidding. It's not that I want numbers. It's I want value out of this for myself and everyone involved, artists, listeners. I want this value to come in the form of this is so exciting for me to have these conversations with artists, and it is so exciting for artists to be able to share their music with someone and then to another audience, and it is exciting for someone who's listening to actually feel like that one episode encouraged them to actually go ahead and post the song that they were kind of nervous to put out, but then they put it out. So it's kind of that like triad of, yay, everyone's so happy, yay, yay, yay. And I really want to aim for that with all of this. I also think sponsors are important. So I'm looking forward to getting some sponsors on the podcast. And that is, like I said, a lot of extra work. I think I didn't realize that at the beginning, just how much work and attention all this really deserves. But I'm glad that I'm giving it my best. I really am trying to give it my best right now. And as someone who is extremely organized and just operates that way, it's been both really nice and really confusing to figure out what's the most optimal, like efficient way to go about certain things. in terms of emailing, communicating, marketing everything. I just I'm kinda going with my gut with everything and also with the limited capacity that I have right now, just being one person who's also kind of finishing out my graduation season, and I mean, soon I'm also gonna take a trip, so there are things like that I'm thinking about, like my life and how I want the podcast to feel very seamless next to my life, like social life, um, and work life. I don't want this to really get in the way of my other pursuits that have a bit more stability. But I think just like any other person who's starting out, you really have to take a leap of faith when it comes to, I guess, getting yourself out there and getting yourself to do things that are not so exciting. The best way I can explain it is conversing with artists is extremely fun and extremely exciting. But all the back end stuff of going through, you know, all the back end stuff, which one of my least favorite things to do is to tell an artist that I am not so interested in having them on the podcast because it seems very at odds with like me. It seems very at odds with who I am because I don't think I have the authority. Well, in this case, I kind of do, but I don't think I have the authority to tell someone that, their art isn't worthy of being shared on my platform. But and I talk about this in my behind the scenes, I'm just grappling with that. And I'm sure a lot of artists have already shown me that they're very understanding. And I don't see this really as a huge issue. It's been a lot of work for sure. And I don't want anyone to feel put off from that or that I'm complaining. I really am getting that instant gratification. I promise you, it comes with everything that I'm doing. It's not like I have to see this blow up and I get 500 views and that will turn my world around and finally make me happy. I think I actually genuinely am feeling a lot of joy and contentment going through this process. So I'm happy to report that. Yeah, and I'm not sure what else there is to say about this because I am shooting behind the scenes, I am shooting with artists, and I'm having really great conversations there. I'm just happy that I get this pilot episode with you guys. And maybe down the line, I can do more of these one on one episodes just to, give you guys a little piece of my brain as I'm going through everything. Yeah. Let me know what you guys want to see more of from me outside of music interviews, outside of artist interviews. I definitely see the potential of having someone on who represents another, I guess, format of music marketing. And I have someone in mind when I say that. So I think I'm done blabbering. It really is late. And I will check out now. But I hope you guys stay tuned. I have some really exciting stuff coming out within this month and within June. I really am blessed. And I want to express my gratitude specifically to you who's watching because I really am just a 22-year-old girl in her bedroom filming, talking to a camera lens. And I have never really felt like a YouTuber, but I feel it now. And I don't really feel like a YouTuber, I feel like a podcaster. And that's such an insane thing to say. I would have never guessed that this is what I would be doing, but I am more than happy to be on your screen. And I hope you keep up with me. You keep up with all the incredible artists that are coming on soon. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I truly am lucky. And I will catch you in the next episode where I will be joined with an artist or a band. We'll see. Okay, bye.